I guess rest of the things will be explained by Vijay. Vijay is a cloud expert. You can find him on LinkedIn. He'll share his, LinkedIn connection details on, on the chat post this discussion. So you can just find him on LinkedIn, follow his post. He is a cloud expert for Azure and AWS and GCP as well. So
Hello. Hello. Yeah,
over
speaker.
to you,
Who's
Vijay.
calling, please?
Okay, someone else has joined in. Let me just.
Hi, Gaurav. How are you?
Uh,
Doing good. Doing good. Thank you. बताइए.
Can you put yourself on mute, Nitin?
Yes. You're calling from?
Nitin,
Mahesh. Yeah, Gaurav. Hi. Yes, I had put in that request. Let
Nitin.
me call you back on this number in about an hour from now, please, if you don't mind. I'm in
Okay.
the middle of a meeting right now. I'll call you back. Thank you. Bye.
Nitin,
okay,
can you put yourself on mute? Yeah, or probably Vijay, you can mute everyone and start.
sure. So, no, I would leave the liberty to the guys because if they have any query, they can just go ahead and start.
I mean, they can. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
Anyways, over to you.
So, yeah. So, first of all, welcome everyone. Thanks for your time, for going ahead and giving your precious time for this particular webinar, which is based out of Google Cloud Platform. And this is the first part wherein we'll elaborate on a lot of things, starting from cloud. What is the introduction? What all things are there on the cloud? Why? And what is the market distribution and everything. Moving on to why Google as a cloud provider, though it has got a less percentile of the entire market share, but why Google we would like to go ahead and emphasize for the time being. Then we'll go ahead and give the service offerings on the portal. We'll just go ahead and have a quick run through of all the portal entities, what Google offers to a developer as well as platform guy. And after that, we'll create a virtual machine with a demo. And these are the content for the day. Now, to go ahead and give you a brief description on this webinar, it's a Google Cloud platform, which I've already mentioned earlier. I'll make you understand the basics of cloud compute along with the services offerings by GCP platform. For more, you can always go ahead and log on to our website, which is brewingcode.com, which is currently headed by Niloshima, and I'll just show you the website as well. One second. And it's a community, forum wherein we have most of the discussion platforms when it comes to SaaS, programming languages, platforms, frameworks, and processes, whether it comes to Agile, PMP, Waterfall, or Crystal. So take your own sweet time to go ahead and maneuver this wonderful website which we have created for you guys. And we are present on all the social media when it comes down to going ahead and proliferating our good works which we try to do. Coming back to our presentation. One second. This is a brief description about the company, what all things we do and how we are currently engaged. So it's a technical community services where we offer platform agnostic discussions and learning and exploration across our members of our fraternity. We have a proven track record when it comes down to a good webinar and seminar, and we always encourage all the young speakers to go and be a part of this. This is our team as of now, wherein me, Niloshima, and Deepti are the key members and speakers. We go ahead and talk about various technologies and processes as mentioned over the website. Yeah, now coming down to me, okay. I would like to go ahead and briefly introduce myself. My name is Vijay Raghav. I don't want to call myself as a cloud expert, but I have few certification around my belly. Coming down from AWS solution architect professional level to an expert solution architect on Microsoft Azure. I have demonstrated acumen across various technical platforms when it comes down to PHP. I started my career with IBM. If you want, that's not required as of now, but still, I'll just go ahead and quickly brief you through. My first company was IBM. I gradually moved on to Sapient, and currently I'm heading up the product development for a US-based firm for EMEA and APAC, which is My Media and Corporation. And I have done my management, as well as I have done my master's in computer science as well as management from Symbiosis. You can find my LinkedIn ID over here. So I would request you guys to go and follow my whatever I post and so on, so that you can be abreast about the latest technology and what's going around the world. So I'm coming down to that old and boring question: what is cloud? Because most of the people might have elaborated. You must be knowing, but still, I would like to go and know from you guys. What do you understand by cloud? Though very lighter version of definition has been written down over here, but yeah, can anyone elaborate what is cloud? Hello.
Yeah, I think, see, basically, smaller companies, they need not have all the infrastructure at their end, right? Because a lot of effort goes into managing that infrastructure, maintaining it, and scaling it. Okay, so what cloud basically does is it takes away that, firstly, the headache of the infrastructure from us by completely managing it.
Yeah.
Then it also automatically scales it up and down as per our requirements. So we pay only for what we use.
Okay.
Then over and above that, it offers a lot of extra services, like IoT as a service, or blockchain as a service, machine learning as a service, which we can just use out of the box.
Wonderful. You're talking much in sense with the features of the cloud. You know what cloud has. My simple understanding, like in the if you need to go and explain to a layman, what is cloud means. I just want to hear a one line answer or like a two-line answer, because what you have elaborated, those are like features of a cloud. So, anyone want to give it a try, or should I like continue? Okay, I'll just go ahead and explain it. So, as per my acumen, what I've been working across, I've worked in data centers when I was in Singapore with IBM. I've worked with various other cloud platforms. I've been working as a solution architect as of now and product owner. So, what my understanding for cloud is not a new thing ever existed. It has already been with us for a long, long, long time as far as the technology goes. It just been named, and the buzzword is cloud. The data centers, which can go and give you some kind of service offerings, whether it be a LaaS, PaaS, IaaS, or even SaaS. So these are the various mechanisms in which we go ahead and offer a service of a remote data center to end user on an internet. This is what my understanding of cloud is. And you can always go ahead and refer to higher evangelists, across the forums. They'll just go ahead and elaborate in the same manner or same fashion. So moving on to the next slide, which talks about competitive analysis, which the gentleman was just talking about. So this is like traditional or legacy model in which we were like working, and what is cloud. So I'll just go ahead and give you a very short story about what it used to be like 8 or 9 years back when we were like developers, and we used to go and wait for our servers, which were like rack servers, bare metal. It used to be shipped from US, California. It used to go and come up from the custom clearance from United States of America to India. And then it was unboxed, racked onto a rack, and all the networking things were supposed to be done. Then we used to go and see the configuration. Okay, it's like a 6 gigs of RAM, and we were like excited that we can give a lots of competence onto this machine, and our application would be on the fly, and it would be like working very fine. But right now, this entire thing has a paradigm shift in which we can just go ahead and have like 3 or 4 clicks, and that the same infrastructure would be up and running within like less than a minute. So this is the power of cloud. This is the advantage of cloud. Uh, Imagine a situation when we get a project like Amazon, or we get a project like Flipkart, and we are supposed to go ahead and make a Diwali sale, and you are a small startup. Imagine a situation again like you have a sports card, or if you have anything, and there's some kind of fest which is supposed to come up, and you need to go and buy a hardware for that. So no matter what you do, if you have a billion users coming up as a concurrent user, your entire mechanism would fail. You have to come up with a solution which is pro and which is automated in such a manner that it can scale out. So this is again where cloud comes into picture when it comes to auto scaling, auto squeezing, and so on. So we can use a various number of fancy terms because there's always a colossal fight which goes up on terms, because in AWS you use scale out, scale in, and so on, and on Azure we use different kind of terminologies. In GCP we use different types of terminologies. In Droplets we use different type of terminologies. So the basic, as a pro member, I would always recommend you guys to go and understand the basics and forget about the terms, because no one would be bothered about the terms whenever you talk to an expert. They would like to know how well you're aware of the concepts behind how it's done and what's it done. I'll just take a quick moment to go ahead and drive you through this particular slide, wherein I'll just go ahead and give you these valuable data points. I'll elaborate and I'll give you the difference between the traditional as well as the current cloud, how we go ahead and do that. So total cost of ownership. So suppose if you buy a server, a bare metal, it used to cost somewhere around 3 lakh rupees, 6 lakh rupees. This is the kind of server architecture which we were supposed to purchase from Quantum, HP, and IBM of the world. And then you have to go ahead and hire system administrators. You have to go ahead and take all the logistics. You have to go ahead and maintain a -7 or -4 degree temperature within the data centers. You have to have a lot of certifications to go ahead and run any kind of business. You have to, there's plethora amount of, things which you need to do as a prerequisite to go ahead and come into market and then go ahead and, run your show. All of them squeezed down to nowhere, as the gentleman again told us that it's a pay as you go model, and you go ahead and switch, spin a couple of servers, never need to bother about what is the temperature, never need to bother about what kind of certification, because all the service providers, they are giving you all the highest level of data security certifications. It's a part of their KRA, it's a part of their SLA. Now the time and value and the ease of implementation. As I told you, once any server used to come, we have to go ahead and install the operating system, be it Solaris, be it PHP, and all those full stack. It used to take a lot of time. It used to take a lot of energy. All of them, sorry, all of them are like squeezed down again to just go ahead and clicking on a couple of check boxes and running up the show. Disaster recovery. Anyone who has worked on DRs and failover mechanisms over here? Okay, I'll just go ahead and conclude this part as well. So long time back, when we used to go ahead and have any kind of redundancy, if we are supposed to go ahead and create any kind of redundancy, then we used to have local mirroring or a local imaging, that okay, if the system gets failover, God forbid if there's 4 SMPS and all of the SMPS are like flogged at the same point of time, or they go for a toss. What happens next? Both the servers are down and your entire business is at a toss. But these things doesn't happen over here, because you have various regions, we have various things. It can be replicated at the other corner of the world. Even if your data center gets hit by a tsunami, the other data centers would be up and running. So this is the part of geo redundancy, which is the first point for cloud. Why it's one of the best things which I like about cloud solutioning. Access to emerging technologies and low redundancy. Access to emerging technologies. I would like to go ahead and tell you about my particular work on AWS. So since the time I have been working with AWS, as well as I have been like part of this cloud solutioning fraternity, to the problems which were being asked on the forums, to the problems which were being darted by us on AWS meetups and global forums. I have been a active participant on the solutioning part and forums on AWS as well. So all the queries which they have, basis the priority, they go ahead and release a service. There's a huge fest which happens in Las Vegas, and every year they go ahead and release at least 40 or 50 odd services. Same with Microsoft. They keep on adding up value in form of services to the end user. So these things cannot be done because the cost of learning, the cost of getting to the new technology. You need to hire new people. You need to go ahead and hire new hardware, get new hardware on board, and then again you have to go ahead and invest a lot of time. For example, continuous integration, continuous development. Talk about any goddamn thing, you have to go ahead and invest a lot. But these things can be easily done on a cloud platform where everything is on a click of a button. Multiple tenancy. We can just go ahead and use the same hardware if that particular business model did not click. We can just go ahead and use that same business hardware rack or the same resources for some other thing. We can even have 2 or 3 multiple processes running on the same software stack or hardware stack, which we have scaled up to hybrid and optimized. So, anyone aware about the hybrid solution model of cloud? What is a hybrid solution model?
Yes, we can see. It's suppose we have some very crucial data which we want to keep on premise,
Yeah.
or we have, like say, some part of the infrastructure we want to have on site.
Yeah.
So then we can combine an on-site model with the cloud model and use a combination so that some part of the infrastructure or services are on the cloud and the other is on-site.
Very nice. So, how we do that? Do you have any idea? Do you have any?
No, I have not implemented that kind of thing.
Okay, so I'll brief you on that as well. There is something known as fat pipe. In some of the technological terms, it's known as a fat pipe. In other technological forums, it's known as a black pipe. Someone call it as a backbone. So there are various terminologies again across various cloud platforms. What it simply means, it's a very high-end fiber optic network which is directly communicated and channelized from your data center to the data center of Azure, to the data center of GCP, or to the data center of AWS. And this has been governed and taken care by the cloud service provider, for example, AWS again. So this fat pipe is a very high and speedy lane in which the data transmit from one point to A to B is as good as you are working on your own LAN. So this is the one of the most effective and important roles and responsibilities, because all the banking softwares, all the banking things never let the data of their own customers to go over cloud, apart from a few like Capital One, which has completely migrated from in United States of America. They don't have anything on premises. They have everything on cloud now. They were working earlier on hybrid models. Now, there is also a term known as data sovereign. Data sovereignty means the data of the country remains within the within the country. The land of the law doesn't allow the data of any country to go and work in. So India is one of the emerging superpowers. India has also implemented the same. So you have seen a numerous amount of companies investing in India, in Mumbai specifically, AWS, GCP, as well as Azure. All of them have started their data centers in Mumbai and Pune. So data sovereignty is one of the most important parts. So now, once you go ahead and have this data centers within your country, it helps you to go ahead and have this fiber optic communication channels coming down to your data centers and there, because see, first of all, even being a cloud expert, I would like to say that a lot of people in today's world, they just come to us or come to our companies and say that, okay, we want cloud. Irrespective, they know the meaning of cloud. They seriously have the necessity of cloud. So first, we have to go ahead with a comparative analysis, whether seriously, if their business is up and running within their own premises, and it's flawless, we should not be going over cloud. Trust me on that. Because, for example, if you have a login mechanism and you have like a 1 lakh seater, or even imagine a situation where you have 30,000 seater and all of them log in at 9 p.m. and you have some kind of cloud solutioning provider and you don't have a fat pipe. Trust me on that, your entire login mechanism would fail, because there is no mechanism as of now which can just go ahead and easily come up, whether you use cognitive services from coming up from AWS or whatsoever different plethora of services which has been offered by service providers. So there are various disadvantage. Not, I won't call it as disadvantage, but the adaptiveness of cloud should be only done if it's seriously required. If there's not requirement and you just need to go ahead and put everything in cloud, that won't be a good solution. Business agility, time to market, so everything is very quick, because the business can come up, walk up to you guys, and they can say that, okay, tomorrow I want this particular show up and running, and you can just go ahead and say, nod your head and say that yes, we can go ahead and do it because we have the power of cloud. So uh, lower employee cost, because sysops and devops, earlier a person who has been developing a PHP framework, or he's been working on WordPress, or he's been working on Joomla, or even talking about .NET, if anyone is working on Java, why is this, he or she is supposed to go ahead and seriously invest time in setting up the software or setting up the hardware? Right now, you just choose the version of core .NET, or you choose the version of PHP, you choose the version of Apache, and you just go ahead and click, bang, and you are right there. What environment you need, it's just a click of a button away. So this goes and reduces a lot of cost when it comes down to sysops and netops and devops. So these people are redundant now. When you have a very high-end solution model wherein these guys needs to go and monitor, as well as, because there are monitoring tools which even kills their job easily. So if there's any kind of false mechanism set up, or if there's any kind of failure which happens onto your solutioning, immediately any developer or any program manager would keep on getting continuous notification that this is failing and you need to do this. It doesn't even gives you just a problem statement, it also gives you the solution and gives you the impeccable positioning of what exactly needs to be changed and how it needs to be changed. There's so much of learning over there as well. So these are the power of cloud, which I would like to go and come up. But again, having said everything, elaborated on most of the topics mentioned on this particular screen, I would again say that cloud is nothing new. It has always been with us. It's just a new name which has given to the data centers, which offers services and value addition to our business onto a software layer, onto a platform layer, or onto a I'll just elaborate the rest on the new slide. So here we go. So function as a service is a new
Vijay.
which, yeah.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. So we have the meeting will go until 1. So just
Okay.
try
So
to
I'll try to go down in a quick.
yeah, because I guess if they'll have a question,
Yeah.
and I cannot extend a running meeting, so I'll just
Yeah.
share the invite again, and
Sure,
probably you guys can join back.
So
Fair enough?
yeah. So here on this slide, you can find the various kind of service offerings, which is in the form of service, in the form of infrastructure, in the form of platform, in the form of functions. So the new concept is coming up in the form of serverless computing. So today is not the show, but yeah, definitely if you want, I can give you a hands-on on this particular technology as well. Now this is the market distribution. AWS raise high his head with 85% of, and these all data are coming up from Forbes and other. So in totality, 5% was others in GCP, but yeah, GCP is gaining some huge amount of volume of market share, and Azure is still at 5%. But yeah, Azure is also trying to pull up its swords and trying to go and come up with the market. So solution, let's move on to the cloud. So this is what I would like to go and come up with. Now, this is one of the most important slides, so I would like to go ahead and give it like 2 or 3 minutes. Why GCP? You must have seen couple of slides back that GCP is only like 3% or it might be 4% as of in the current date. So it's a developer friendly, it's a developer first and system operations second approach. Most of the cloud platforms which I've worked with is like, a system operations first and a developer second, because there are exposed APIs, there are integration points and channels, and you can go ahead and integrate most of the things. But if you seriously want, for a second, I'll come down to the Google platform page. So if you want to go ahead and even address this entire suite from a command line or from a bash file or from a terminal or anything, you can just go ahead and use this entire thing. You can even create a new project right from code line. I'll go ahead and share it later on. So this was one of the most interesting and intriguing things, which is just like which seriously flabbergasted me. Second thing, its own backbone. So as I've already elaborated some time back on backbone. Backbone is the network architecture which they use. It's a fat optic fiber network which Google has its own throughout the globe, and it has connected to all the data centers across the globe. And the third point is work from anywhere. So this is a new concept which I don't think it's in the news anywhere right now. But Google is coming up with its own platform where you do not even require a VPN. You just need to log into any internet and you can work from anywhere, and you will be at the highest secured end-to-end encryption level, which is known as X work, or they have come up with a few fancy terms which I'll elaborate later on. So first thing is, in comparison to cost model, I've done a competitive analysis and I found that Google GCP is offering lower cost because it needs to have a higher traction. In terms of execution, trust me, it's relatively fast because I can show you both the like EC2 which has been provisioned, or a virtual computer been provisioned on Azure, or a virtual machine which has been provisioned on any VM instance on GCP. It's much more faster. I don't know how or what they do, but yeah, the provisioning is just the faster. Of course, when it comes down to artificial intelligence or machine learning, it's one of the best because just because of the reason that TensorFlow now belongs to Google, and it's the best in market because I'm working on AI and ML as well. Reliability, again, as it has got its own data centers, it has got a global footprint. The highest number of data centers belongs to Google, but it has just harnessed, say, about 30% only as of current date, because Google has got a data center for normal Google search engine across the globe, right from Netherlands to America to India to everywhere. It has got its own data centers. So think of a time when it would try to scale out its own data centers, expand it a little bit for GCP, so it would be the highest number of in terms of reachability. Now, this is something very important and interesting, which would definitely intrigue you guys. One second. So this is the cheat sheet. Like, uh, if anyone has done a cheating in the examination, he must understand what is a cheat sheet. But Google top-notch guys, they have introduced the concept of cheat sheet, wherein this is the link. You guys can go ahead and take a screenshot, or I can just go ahead and copy it and share it on the chat. Sorry. So the cheat sheet talks about everything what is on the Google platform, and it has got 3 to 4 line maximum to go ahead and make you understand what that service layer makes or what its service layer does for you. So you can just go ahead and type in cheat sheet on the Google platform, because so this is a sheet I'm talking about. Let me click on one. So as you can see, if you need to have an app engine, it manages app platform. So if you can just go ahead and if you want to go ahead and excel in this particular GCP certification, or if you want, you can just go ahead and have a printout of it. You can stick it to the wall or your vision board, and you are like good to go. Because you keep on seeing, or it's a quick dictionary, it's a quick Bible for your ailment aid. Coming back to the presentation. Okay, so good. We are good on time. We have 10 more minutes. So here we'll just go ahead and have the demo. The first thing is, like, I would seriously ask you guys to go ahead and have a quick installation or a quick provisioning of a VPC on Google, and I'll just go ahead and drive you through a hand-holding session wherein the first step would be to go ahead and create a GCP account. I'll just go ahead and run you through on the pricing models. I'll run you through the GCP environment, how it's supposed to be done, where and what you need to go ahead and take care of. And the fourth step, we'll all go ahead and create a VPC. And the fifth would be like a questionnaire or a session in which we will share our insight. So I have both the things with me, wherein since I have some load of stuff which we go ahead and do, like highway safety app and so on, in which we are consuming. So these are the projects. So I'll just go ahead and quickly run you through GCP. Sorry about this. So yeah, so if you guys can quickly go ahead and just type in onto your Google console.google cloud platform, it would go ahead and take you to a screen, and it will go ahead and give you $300 for free, or 364 days. So I'll just log out so that you guys can go ahead and follow me through. I guess let's create a new one. Okay, this would take some time because it would ask for your credit card information as well. So I don't want to waste time on that. Once you go ahead and create your account, it would land up to something similar as this, wherein on the top ribbon you'll find Google platform, and this is the main burger menu, which will come up with all the service offerings what Google Cloud has to offer you guys. It's a plethora of services, but I'll just go ahead and try to go ahead and cover up as much as I can. For any project which you have created in the past, it would just go ahead and appear upon this particular tab. The best part is the search feature. So if you want to know more about map APIs, you can just go ahead and search over here, and you'll find direction APIs, direction matrix API, distance matrix API, and so on and so on. So if, for example, you guys have a problem in remembering where exactly in the storage it was for the transfer, so you never need to go ahead and memorize everything. You can just go ahead and type in over here. Now I'm coming up to the question which has been asked by the gentleman long time back. So this is the active shell. Now, since we are running a Chrome, and Chrome belongs to Google, so this would go ahead and give you a agility to go ahead and have the bash command suited up right from here, or you can just go ahead and turn up to the shell mode. So they have developed and designed the cloud shell mode. So no matter what you do, you want to just go ahead and create a new project, you can just go ahead and type in the commands over here. Unfortunately, I would not like to go ahead and waste time on this as well, but I just wanted to show you guys that, okay, this is the place you can just go ahead and play around with this particular feature.
So just to add to Jay's point,
Yeah.
what you can do, you can drop us a message on the meetup, and we will arrange a proper hands-on session on that.
Yeah, dedicated.
Yes, because I guess we have some time things
Yeah,
to limit things, so
yeah,
let's do that.
sure. So now this is the marketplace, this is the billing center. So you can see that the credit cards and all of this. But you guys, when you guys register, you will have your own $300 over here and 365 days to go and play around with this particular platform. I'll again come back. This is the API suite wherein you have most of the APIs exposed over here with the learning models as well. This is a support model where you have case studies, chat support, phone support, and community services. Again, it's community supported as well. This is all about identity access management. Never need to deep dive into this because this is a larger game park, and if you are a system administrator, then you are supposed to go and know about this. Security, command center, threat detection, and so on. So again, these things, let us come down to compute engine and VM instances. So this is the place wherein I'll just go ahead and take some time to go ahead and elaborate what and how it's supposed to be done. So if any one of you are already a part of AWS development cycle, or you guys go ahead and run few EC2 instances, or you go ahead and run some kind of instances on Azure, this is the best place where you can just go ahead and pipe in. You can migrate your products from your EC2s and Azure and VMwares directly over here. So if you click on begin import, it would go ahead and expose you all the APIs which are supposed to go ahead and take care of, which is again coming back to migrate compute engine. So request APIs and so on. So everything is exposed over here. I just wanted to show you this particular feature. So this is something which stands apart from other platforms. We have integration services which can migrate things from Azure to AWS or vice versa. But this is a good model in which they have given it right up front if you want to go ahead, and because if it comes down to integration, it's something very good. Take a quick tour is like a guided model wherein it would just go ahead and you guys can go ahead and play around later on. But I'll just go ahead and quickly take you to go ahead and creating a virtual private. I think the demo god is not that happy because generally it works very fast. I've been working. So yeah, one of the few things which is coming from the expert's hand again, rather than going ahead and creating a simple instance, I would like to go ahead and elaborate my expertise with you guys. So these are the regions in which all the data centers are located. You can see it's Tokyo, Seoul, Finland, and so on and so on and so on. In AWS also we have a similar kind of a suite, but the only thing which is differentiating over here is, I'll show you the magic: general purpose, memory optimized, and compute optimized. Now if I choose a different data center, like if you come down to Tokyo, you might have observed that a couple of things vanishes. Now anyone can just go ahead and quickly explain me why this is happening?
Maybe you don't have the right set of machines in that particular data center.
Absolutely, bingo. So all of the data centers are never the same. Currently, Mumbai AWS is one of the best data centers which AWS has got, apart from North Virginia and Californian-based data centers. So these are the zones which, in different terminologies, they call it differently, like availability zones. Over here, it's just called zones. So
Vijay, can you show us the Mumbai zone, please? I mean, what are the options are Mumbai region, please?
sure. So I've selected Mumbai and it has just got memory optimized. It doesn't have the GPU section. So if you want to run high end of AI and ML wherein you need CUDA cores, you won't be able to find them over here because you see that it's the second generation series. I'm even checking out the memory optimized. So I don't find the ultra memory series. So CUDA cores are not over here, which has been provided by NVIDIA. If you go to AWS, we have Gorilla series G1, G2, which can give you a maximum capacity of like, I'll just select something else in somewhere in US so that we can see computer optimized. So it gives you 16 gigs initially, 60 CPUs, and 240 gigs of RAM. So this is like the base model of AWS. So if you compare in terms of hardware platform, they are not providing you dedicated, graphical processing unit (GPUs), though they have mentioned that it's virtual, CPUs. So for this, I don't want to take a class again on NUMA architecture, with what stands like non-uniform memory architecture, which has been provided by Intel. Here, it gives you the choices of operating system which you want. So currently, what I find lacking over here is that it just gives you the data center models. If you want a normal standardized or an enterprise model, it doesn't gives you that particular thing. So this is very strange why they have done this. But yeah, I'll try to even reach out to their help centers to go and seriously elaborate onto this. Now this gives you a 32 gigs of size, so on. This is okay. This is my current project. These are the projects which I'm running. So I need to. My apologies. So the first thing which you need to do is you have to go ahead and create a project for yourself. But still, I can run under some project which I have. One second.
Okay, Vijay, since the meeting time is about to attend, I believe we'll join again once this meeting goes down.
Sure, we can do that, but we can have a dedicated session coming up. On the Niloshima, when is the date for the new session?
I guess that's next week, same time, 12 to 1.
So
But if you guys want me to, sorry.
yeah, so I guess I would really love to know what exactly do you want out of this Google Cloud platform, because it's got a lot of things, and you can just go ahead and play around this particular thing where you don't understand anything. I would like to go ahead and share my expertise with you guys. So you can just go ahead and maneuver this entire suite of services which has been provided over here. And after that, I'll be more than happy to go ahead and elaborate, like, data transfer, how it happens, what it happens. So the next time we won't be investing time onto the initial slides, like, what is cloud and how it works and so on and so on. We'll directly go ahead and have a hands-on experience on everything, which you want. So on this meetup session, I would seriously request you to go ahead and, share your feedback, share your valuable inputs as of what you want. Let's dedicate a time of like 2 hours or more, and then I'll be more than happy to go and elaborate on the things which you want. Does that sound good?
Okay, fine. I just had a few basic questions in regard to cloud platforms.
Sure.
Can you take them now?
Yeah. Far away, please.
Yeah. So, see, firstly, you mentioned about that backbone, which is used in the case of a hybrid model. So, part of the data of banks is on site, and the backbone connects with the data center, right?
Yep.
So you mentioned the backbone is very fast, but in those kind of scenarios, don't we face any kind of latency issues when we require data urgently?
It's very. Can you just mute yourself? Yeah. It's very malignant as of today, because the transfer rate is in, like, say about 200 or 300 GBs per second, not even MBs. So the transfer rate is very fast. The second thing which I would like to answer, I don't know about Google Cloud, but there's something known as Outpost on AWS. So the best thing about Outpost is that the entire hardware system which is been at your data center, so you can see it on, am I like visible to everyone, the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So Outpost, what it offers is like the entire data center runs on the same software stack what AWS has to offer. So imagine a situation wherein you have like bare metals and you have like data clusters, you have other, failover mechanisms, everything set up, and you have been given a good infrastructure by AWS. So as you can see, this is the complete rack which is locked and been secured by AWS onto your premises. So when it comes down to execution from point A to point B within the same ecosystem, the system works very fast and very prudent. I hope that answers your question. So every
So guys,
Okay, and just one more question. See, you spoke about services on the cloud, like say machine learning, blockchain, etc. So, can these services just be used like a black box? That is, a person who has no understanding of these emerging technologies can just give some inputs to this service and get the required output. And the related question is, to what extent these services are customizable? For example, if I want to fine tune a machine learning model, or if I want to add a side chain to a blockchain and so on, does the cloud allow me to do that?
Are you confused with the term sandbox and black box, or you are coming up with the term black box?
No, no, I'm in black box in the sense that one doesn't know what exactly is happening there, but one just gives inputs to get a required output.
Of course, in kind of a Docker situation wherein you have a Docker implemented or a complete, you can even have a serverless architecture for that, wherein you have dedicated resource and that would just go ahead and execute the part which you want and it would give you an output for that.
so guys, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
We are running out of time. So let me. So Abhimanyu, Nitin, Tanu, if you want, what I can do for you is let's have a half an hour session in the evening, and you can ask just questions, right? And probably and if you want me to increase the time for the next meeting, I'll make it 2 hours, and just do give us your feedback so that what I can do next time, we won't be doing, we won't be talking about the stuff like in theory things and all, and you can have whatever questions you want to ask, which is, I guess, open to answer, right?
I think the best approach would be that you guys go ahead and jot down and we let's come down to an amicable time, be it tomorrow, be it like on Saturday or Sunday, wherein you guys have a dedicated problem areas and problem statements. Like you want to know more about AWS, a particular function about AWS, a particular service about AWS, something more about Azure. So that would go ahead and give me even time to go ahead and a dedicated one-on-one session wherein you want I can explain, elaborate, as well as show you in terms of practical how it's done and what it's done. So that would be like much appreciated rather than having a a wildfire round.
True, true. And I guess, yes, recording is there, so we'll be posting it on our YouTube channel so that you can just go ahead and browse it, and just take a look there, and post your queries to us on the meetup group, and we can take that ahead, right? Are we on the same page? Can you please write on the, I mean, on the chat, or unmute yourself and let us know?
Yeah, that's fine. Means the idea I really like that we will be basically doing some hands-on,
Yeah.
and whatever the queries we will we will be coming up with that. So that would be I think that will be more relatable, and that will be solve the more purpose.
Absolutely.
And I guess and that's what the goal here is. Like, we are all giving time, and we are all here to learn.
Yeah.
So let's do one thing. I'm going to increase the time of the next session, which we have on Saturday, uh, uh, for 2 hours, right? And what we can do, Vijay can take up the questions for like half an hour in the starting, what you have been doing, and then we can continue from there, right?
Yeah, sounds
And
good.
in the meantime, what you guys can do, you can write me or Vijay, you know, if you want to ask, if you have any questions, you can tweet us, you can probably reach out to us, and since Vijay is the cloud expert, we will be doing, me and Vijay will both be doing a hands-on session where you can compare all the service, be it Azure, be it AWS, and or GCP or Alibaba, or whatever it is, right? Whatever cloud platform have been provided, right? So though I can see that Vijay likes AWS a lot,
Yeah.
because he's been talking around that only. But yeah, that's something that which we can explore, right?
Yeah.
So guys, once again, thanks a lot for your time. It's like 50 minutes and we are like about to end this session. I would seriously recommend you to go ahead and write down what exactly you want to know in the next session, so that we can maintain the agenda beforehand, and we'll even publish the agenda beforehand. If you want any kind of tweaking or any kind of changes within those agendas, be our guest and let us know more. Thank you for your valuable time. You guys have a great day.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Vijay. Thanks,
Yeah.
Thank
Ritu.
you.
Thanks.